This meeting is now being recorded. Should you not want to record your portion, you let me know and I will pause the recording for that particular part. I encourage everyone to speak their hearts out, which means that you can speak on religion, politics, and sex. Although you need to do so with discretion. You have to keep in mind the sensibilities of other people in the audience. Broadly, if you cannot watch it listen to it with your parents or with your children, do not say it. This being an online meeting, I would request everyone's attention. Please use the icons, emoticons such as these at the bottom, and the raise hands to signify your approval or, in some cases, your disapproval. Above all, the agenda of a meeting is to have fun. So I invite you to have as much fun as possible. I've been told that a smile goes a long way in ensuring fun. So I want to see smiling faces like Lisa is doing right now and Haritika does constantly. With that, I am going to call on stage a person whom I caused to smile, and I consider that an achievement. Our presiding officer, our president elect, and our current vice president education, Toastmaster Kapil Kakkad.
Thank you, Rupinder. I welcome all the members and the guests in our meeting number 515. So I just want to give last week update. We had a table topic contest of Blue Quest on last Saturday. We were 7 participants from Blue Quest, and it was my first contest in which I participated, and it was really a great experience. I'm sure people who have missed out, uh, they should regret, because it was a great experience. So we are having evaluation context next month, so I would encourage everybody to participate in that contest. uh, whether we are winner, whether we win it or not win it, it doesn't matter, at least uh, till the time we are beginners, but it will it will certainly have a you will certainly have a great experience. Now, regarding the theme of the day, thank you. I'm glad that we chose this theme, because we are sitting in the almost last week of the year, and we have a lot of people to thank in our life, in Toastmaster as well as outside of Toastmasters. We in India do not celebrate Thanksgiving, but I'm sure that everybody would like to thank people who have played great part in their success, or they have helped him. Now, with that, I would like to invite, or rather, I would like to ask our guests. Most of them are not new to this Blue Quest, but I would still like to take a feedback from them. So, starting with you, Sheila, uh, about our Blue Quest meeting.
Well, so you're asking me about in general, my thoughts?
Yeah. So, how do you like Blue Quest meeting, and
We
what?
are welcoming you. So, how did you find out, and etc. etc.
So I love Toastmasters. I'm sorry that I missed last week, and I had talked to Surrender. I am definitely going to be joining, so I'm going to be giving him my information. So I'm glad to be a part of your group, and I just am excited that I get to partake in all of this fun public speaking that we do.
Okay, sorry, Elisa.
Yes, good morning to everybody. So great to be here again with you all the way from Puerto Rico. The reality is that I second Sheila. I hope not to be a guest for much longer. I've just been swamped with college work, and hopefully in these next couple of days we can make arrangements. So in the meantime, glad to be here with you. Just love coming to your meetings. And I love the virtual reality that has become the norm. So thank you so much.
Okay, welcome. Glad to have you here. Khushbu?
Good morning, sir. Uh, Toastmasters, I love Toastmasters because Toastmasters has been a great learning journey. I have evolved both as a public speaker and as a person in Toastmasters, where I've learned a lot. And Blue Quest meetings are just an extension of that, where it offers a great learning opportunity in small things, be it your speaking capabilities or in other ways. So I really look forward to Blue Quest meetings. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Haritika? Haritika, we can't hear you. If you're speaking, you're on mute. Okay. Munish? A quick introduction about yourself would help.
Good morning, everybody. I live in Jammu. In the town where I live, we do not have Toastmaster Club. I became Toastmaster member 4 months ago. I find this is the best platform to hone up public speaking skills. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster, please.
Okay. Raj? I think Raj is not available. Haritika, can you hear us now? Okay, then we can start our meeting. So, good morning once again. So, I would like to hand over the stage to our Toastmaster of the day. But before I hand over the virtual stage to our Toastmaster, uh, Toastmaster of the day is someone who needs no introduction. Again, I time and again I say this, that he's the spine of our Bluecast, and the fact that he is sick and he is still here in today's meeting makes it very evident that how much he loves Toastmasters. So with that, over to you, Rupinder.
Thank you, Kapil. I'm pretty sure you meant spine, SPINE. I heard differently. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to meeting number 515 of Blue Quest. We are a club based out of IBM, and we are today 515 meetings old. We are one of the oldest clubs in Gurgaon. As such, we have a legacy. Today, I chose the theme as thank you because this is possibly my last appearance as a Toastmaster of the day. So I thought that I would take this opportunity to thank every one of you. 2020 has not been an easy year. It has been a year full of difficulties, full of challenges. And many times it came down to merely surviving, maybe just making it through this year. And I found that the best way to do that is to remain happy, is to remain cheerful, is to keep ourselves in high spirits. Speaking of high spirits, day before yesterday, I got to know that I and my family are COVID positive. We are in self isolation. Uh, None of us is symptomatic, so that is the good part. I mean, any symptoms that were there, they kind of disappeared a week before that, but we all tested positive, so we are self isolating ourselves till January 6th. We are in high spirits and we are trying to keep each other up in high spirits. Of course, um, I guess the biggest danger is that we might end up killing one or the other out of frustration. But other than that, we are healed, we are hearty, and we are doing very well. Thank you. And thank you for all the concern that has been pouring in through from all the Toastmasters. But most of all, thank you for this wonderful organization called Toastmasters. There are so many instances where I can tell you where Toastmasters have come in to be really helpful. I remember back in 2016, I was laid off from a, a job that I was working for 8 years. And Toastmasters came forward, and I especially remember Shaurendra Bhaumik helping me out at that stage. And I got another job purely due to the help that I got from Toastmasters. Then, when in 2018 I decided to start out on my own training consultancy, again it was Toastmasters who came to the fore to help me out. None of them ever said a word of ever said a discouraging word. Everyone was there to encourage me and to tell me that I could do it. Many times when I did not believe in myself, they chose to believe in me, and that is something that makes me feel overjoyed and overwhelmed at the same time, if you can relate to that feeling. Speaking of relating to feelings, let me tell you the feelings that you will go through today in our Toastmasters meeting. Our Toastmaster meeting is like a typical Toastmasters meeting. There are three sections. There are prepared speeches. Today we've got two prepared speeches, which will be evaluated by respective evaluators. Then comes the fun part, which is the table topic session. Our table topics today are being conducted by our president, Toastmaster President elect Toastmaster Kapil Kakkar, the cheerful person that you saw just a while ago. And then comes the most important part, something that I recognize as the soul of a Toastmasters meeting, which is the evaluation. In typically the word evaluation would cause discomfort, would send shivers up people's spine, and would make people look for excuses not to attend. But here in Toastmasters, like I said a while ago, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience. And our evaluations are something that people look forward to, because they are not going to tell you where you went wrong, they're going to tell you where you can go right. I think I'm trying to explain the evaluation session a bit too much. That is not my job. It is the job of our general evaluator. Our general evaluator today is twice distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. He has been a source of inspiration to me, and personally speaking, he is one person from whom I learned never ever to give up. A bit of a background about him: when he started out in Toastmasters, he had a severe stammering issue. Today, when you listen to him, you will find it very difficult to believe that he ever had a stammering problem. He credits all that to Toastmasters, and he is thankful to Toastmasters for it. And I am thankful to him for letting me tell his story, as I call him on stage, Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Rupinder Singh, DTM, thrice. I shall be playing the role of general evaluator. And today, since I cannot play the whole role myself, I have a team with me. The team consists of one timer, one hour counter, and one grammarian. I would now request my team members to come on the stage and tell about their roles and the objectives of the role and how they would be doing it. Now I request Toastmaster Ruchita to come on the stage and tell us about the role of the timer. Over to Ruchita.
Thank you, Mr. Journal Evaluator. I am the timer of today, and I will be keeping a track of the time for the prepared speeches, which is typically 5 to 7 minutes. I'll show a green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and red card at 7 minutes. There is a grace period of 30 seconds on either sides. I request speech evaluator to apprise me if the speech time is different from 5 to 7 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, Toastmaster
For
timer.
tabletop, it's 5 to 7 minutes, right? For all the speeches today. So for table topics, each speaker is required to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. I'll show green card at end of 1 minute, the yellow card at 1 minute and 30 seconds, the red card at 2 minutes. Speech evaluator are allotted 2 to 3 minutes for evaluation. The green card will be shown at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and the red card at 3 minutes. There is a grace period of 30 seconds for on either sides. I'll submit my report in the evaluation session in the end of this meeting.
Thank you,
Thank
Toastmaster
you.
Ruchita.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ruchita. I would also like to know whether you would be showing the cards or would you be sharing your screen?
I'm going to share my screen.
Thank you. Now, I would now request our counter, Toastmaster Sumit, to give the objectives of the role and how he or she would be doing it. Over to
Thank,
Toastmaster Sumit.
thank you, Raj Mehta. Greetings, Toastmasters and fellow Toastmasters. The purpose of our counter is to note words and sound that are used as a crutch word or pause word. During the meeting, I will actively be looking for such crutch words being used by our members. And these words are something like and, well, do, but, so, I will also be noting down the filler words, are. I will also note down when the speaker repeats a word or a phrase. Sometimes we repeat words multiple times. At the end of the meeting, I will also be giving my report on number of times we have used such crutch words. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day, the General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sumit. Now, I request our grammarian, Toastmaster Alisa, to tell us the objectives of the role of the grammarian and also the word of the day.
Yes, thank you, General Evaluator. As grammarian, it's important to note that language is like a tool. And for tools to be entirely useful, they have to be sharpened. So my role of today as grammarian is to make sure that as we use the language English, that we're keeping it sharpened, that we're staying on target, we're following all the grammatical rules and adding S's where they need to be added, pronouncing all the words, correct word order and formation, so that we can really maintain an excellent standard of English. And I would also like to introduce the word of the day in line with today's theme of being thankful. The word of the day is going to be appreciation. And the definition is appreciation is gratitude, it's thankful recognition. It is also the act of estimating the qualities of things and giving them their proper value. So I want to encourage you today to use our word of the day, appreciation. And I'm going to use it right now by saying I appreciate each and every one of you who has taken time to be here. We're so glad. We're going to learn so much. And at the end, I will be giving my report to tell everybody what a fantastic job you have done. So appreciation, you can see it on my screen and I will put it in the chat. Thank you so much. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Elisa. With this, now I give the stage to the Toastmaster of the day, Rupinder Singh DTM.
Thank you, Raj Mehta. I appreciate you taking up this role and appreciate all the role players for all the auxiliary role players for spelling out their objectives or their roles. And on that note, I am thankful to our timer Ruchita because she has shown remarkable consistency in attending our meetings, sometimes at the cost of missing out meetings at her office. Let's have a round of applause for her. To our counter, Sumit, I am thankful to you for reposing the faith in Toastmasters by renewing. Keep going, you will get strong. And to Alisa, joining us from many oceans away, for being the grammarian today and many times helping us out of a tight spot. Let's have a round of applause for all of our role players. And now it is time to thank our first speaker. Our first speaker is the secretary of this club. He is also the vice president membership elect. And to me, he is an epitome of discipline with joy, with the way that he approaches his role. Toastmaster Avjinder has been a bedrock of support for Blue Quest, and for that we are thankful to him. Before I call him on stage, I would like to call a person who has been a bedrock of support for me. When I joined Toastmasters, I did not have a mentor to look up to. This person, selflessly and unknown to me, decided to become my mentor, and he's been my mentor since 2015, ever since I joined. He was also my roommate when I won the district championship, and a person that I will always continue to look up to. Side note, my wife says that if ever I mature, she wants me to mature like him. To which he has a different line of thought, but let me call on stage Shaurendra Bhaumik to explain more and read out the objectives.
Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate your thoughts, Rupinder. Today, I have the opportunity of evaluating someone who I greatly appreciate. I truly appreciate this person, and I am so privileged to have known Toastmaster Avjinder over the last year or so. Today, he is going to do his level 3, project 3, which is connect with storytelling. He will be trying to practice using the story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. His speech timer, kindly note, will be for 5 to 7 minutes. And I am looking forward to hearing the speech. Over to you, Sir Toastmaster of the day.
Let us now spotlight Avjinder Singh. Spotlighting. Thank you. Whoever spotlighted him. Avjinder, could you do a very quick audio video check?
Am I audible now?
You are audible, and I love that background that you have. I'm going to plagiarize it someday. Avjinder Singh, my tryst with Maya and Aztec. My tryst with Maya and Aztec, Avjinder Singh.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day and fellow members. My tryst with Maya and Aztec. Adventure and meeting people was something in my mind. It was my dream when I was growing up. I wanted to learn new culture, know the beliefs of different people, visit beautiful places, and make friends. This was probably the reason why I chose to learn Spanish language at Germanic and Romance Studies. Immediately upon entering my graduation, I joined the Spanish course, which was the second widest language spoken after English in terms of number of countries. It gave me a very good perspective while learning the history of various cultures and various different cities and different countries. Just 2 years after my post-graduation, I got my first chance to visit one of the countries, which was 1,200 kilometers away from my 12,000 kilometers away from my city. It was a beautiful country. It was a country where people greeted us and welcomed us with open hearts. This was back in 2001 when the globalization was not so rampant. People were dependent on TV and newspaper to get the news. Internet and video chat was not there. At this point of time, I entered the city of Mexico, where the Aztec and Mayan culture perpetuated long time back, just like our own. As curious I was knowing their culture, they were more curious about knowing my culture here in India. They talked about various books, our culture, customs, and various important things. And two were the most important things. Any guesses? Well, it was yoga
Food.
and Kama Sutra. I could talk to them for hours discussing various foods, tacos, and chalupas, and various local cuisines. But the most important for them was their beer. I remember one afternoon, I simply mentioned that I had an American beer Budweiser, and my controller on the floor took me to 3 different restaurants to taste Mexican beer, which according to him was the real beer, not the one across the border. This was the love they had for their food and drinks. They were very open, they were very loving people and warm people. I was living a dream at that point of time. But then something happened. In September, I was sitting in my cafeteria on 25th floor of my building, and the news flashed about a tragedy we all know. A few people, fanatics, launched planes into the US establishments, and everything changed after that. There was fear all around. The trip was cut to a fearful one at that point of time. A week from that incident, we were supposed to go to a city called Acapulco, and we were waiting on the bus stop to catch our bus. And suddenly we were surrounded by 10 commandos in their attire and gear, with their guns pointed directly at us. Our looks were a little deceptive. They didn't know that we are from India. But thanks to a few colleagues who were there to see us off, they explained to them that they are Indians and they are visiting us. And the policemen were gentlemen after that. After verifying our passports, they were very helpful. They took us to the bus for which we were waiting for, and they assured us that everything is good. That's the warmth of the Mexican people. Now imagine when you are on your vacation and this incident happened. Once we reached our resort in Acapulco, for 3 days we were inside our rooms only, not visiting any places. We were so fearful at that point of time. But the second visit that I had to the Aztec was in 2003 and 2004. At that, those were the peaceful times. I visited a lot of beautiful cities. I visited Michoacan, which is the house of the butterflies, monarch butterflies, who travel all the way from North America, Canada, to Mexico. It was beautiful to see that a forest high up in the mountains with no leaves, because the leaves were all hidden behind the butterflies. It was a wonderful time, and I cherished every moment of it. Now, I also visited a place in Mayan Peninsula, which was called Cancun. It was a place where the sand was as white as snow and sea was as beautiful as sky. This was the dream that I talked about. This was the dream that I had imagined, and I was living my dream. I learned a lot from the Mayan and Aztec people, the most beautiful people in the world. They live in present. They live life. They live every color of life, and they live every emotion, including death. That's the beauty of these people. They taught me to appreciate every moment, every color of life. And they told me, they taught me, just like this Aztec warrior that is holding a snake, and it has every color in his every color possible in this statue, which is holding a snake that is the sign of evil in his hands. This is the beauty of Aztec people, and that's my trust with Maya and Aztec people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Avjinder. Totally appreciate your speech. I am now even more interested in visiting South America. And you did get me hungry with all that talk about tacos and chalupa and God knows what else. I'm not a drinking person, otherwise, beer would have got me excited as well. Moving on to our next speaker. Our next speaker was the original person with a smile before Haritika came along and changed all of that. Ever smiling, ever peaceful. I'm pretty sure that her husband disagrees, but she is one person who represents calm and composure in our club. Now, before I call Anshu on stage, I would like to call her evaluator, that is Payal Agarwal. Now, Payal is one person who I have seen improve by leaps and bounds in her journey as a Toastmaster. Payal is our current sergeant at arms, and the way she reads out the meeting rules, she follows the script to the letter, but at the same time, she manages to look at the camera, which is something that I am still trying to learn with consistency. Let's welcome Payal to read out the objectives for Speaker Anshu.
Mm, Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rupinder. So, as said, I will be evaluating Anshu for her speech today. Anshu is someone who I really appreciate for the simplicity and genuineness in her voice, as said by Toastmaster Rupinder. So Anshu will be delivering a speech on level. Sorry, the purpose of a speech is for the member to learn and review basic research methods and present a well organized, well researched speech on any topic. The title of a speech is Move Around, and the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Rupinder.
Thank you. May I request that Anshu be spotlighted? Thank you. And there is Anshu with that smile again, and it grows wider. Anshu, move around, move around, Anshu.
So, researchers have worked out that worldwide, inactivity causes about 9% of premature deaths a year. So, that is over 5 million people. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guest. Right now, you all are sitting to attend this meeting and staying seated for a few minutes. During this meeting, it is probably okay. But the longer you stay, the more agitated your body becomes. A body loves to sit, right? Not really. Sure, sitting for a brief period of time can help us recover from stress and recuperate from exercise. But nowadays, our lifestyle make us sit much more than we move around. And our body simply are not built for such a sedentary existence. In fact, just the opposite is true. The human body is built to move, and you can see evidence of that in a way it is structured. Inside us, there are over 360 joints and over 700 skeleton muscles that enable easy and fluid motion. The body's unique physical structure give us ability to stand straight against the pull of gravity. Our blood depends on us moving around to be able to circulate properly. Our nerves, a nerve cell benefit from the movement, and our skin is elastic, meaning it molds to our motions. So, with every inch of our body is ready and waiting for you to move. What happens when you don't? So, let's start with the backbone. Your spine is a long structure made up of bones and the cartilage disc that sits between them. Joints, muscles, and ligaments that are attached to the bones hold it all together. A common way of sitting is with a curved back, like this, and slumped shoulders, a position that puts uneven pressure on your spine. Over time, this causes wear and tear in your spinal disc. The hunch shape also shrinks your chest cavity while you sit, meaning your lungs have less space to expand into when you breathe. That is a problem because it temporarily limits the amount of oxygen that fills your lungs and filters into your blood. Around the skeleton are the muscles, nerves, arteries, veins that form the body's soft tissue layers. The very act of sitting squashes, pressurizes, and compresses, and these more delicate tissues really feel burnt. Have you ever experienced numbness and swelling in your limbs when you sit? Please raise your hand if you feel so. In areas that are the most compressed, your nerves, arteries, and veins can become blocked, which limits nerve signaling, causing the numbness and reduces blood flow in your limbs, causing them to swell. Now, sitting for a longer period also temporarily deactivates your lipoprotein lipase, a special enzyme in the walls of the blood capillaries that breaks down fat in the blood. So when you sit, you are not burning fat nearly as when you move around. What effect does it have on your brain? Most of the time, you probably sit down to use your brain. But ironically, lengthy periods of sitting actually run counter to this goal. Being stationary reduces your blood flow and the amount of oxygen entering your bloodstream through your lungs. Your brain require both of these to remain alert. So your concentration levels will mostly like to dip as your brain activity slows. Unfortunately, recent studies have found that sitting for a longer period is linked with some type of cancers, heart diseases, and also contribute to diabetes, kidney, and liver problems. So, what seems like such a harmless habit actually has the power to change our health. But luckily, the solution to this mounting threat are simple and intuitive. So, when you have to choose so when you have no choice but to sit, so try switching to the slouch for a straight spine. And when you don't have to bound when you don't have to bound to your seat, aim to move. Perhaps setting a reminder to yourself by in every half an hour will really help. But most importantly, just appreciate that bodies are built for motion, not for stillness. In fact, today is a today is today our topic is today the topic is Thanksgiving topic. So we should thank our body. In fact, since the speech is almost over, so why not we all stand up and stretch right now? Treat your body to walk and it will thank you later. So may I request everyone to please stand up and stretch your body for just 10 seconds? So thank you, my dear fellow Toastmasters, and thank you.
Thank you, Anshu. And you are absolutely right. I have observed it myself that when I am working on a particular problem, I do not get the solution when I'm sitting. I get the solution when I'm doing anything but sitting. It could be taking a walk, it could be taking a shower. In fact, many times when I was working for an organization, you would find me outside my cubicle looking at my computer from the outside. I thought that that was me trying to get an outside perspective on my problem, but in reality, that was me getting up, getting my body to move around and figure out a solution. And I figured out many a solution for that. Thank you. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Now, let's move on to the fun part of our Toastmasters meeting. And the person who is going to present this fun part to you played the role of Toastmaster of the day 5 meetings ago with the theme Comedy Mornings with Kapil. To date, that remains one of the best performances as Toastmaster of the day that I have seen. It was not the jokes he told, it was the way he related his personal experiences with a deadpan face that caused me laughter at 8:15 in the morning. Thank you, Kapil, for sharing those moments with us, and we look forward to further moments in your role as Table Topics Master. All the best to you. May I request that Kapil Kakkar be spotlighted?
Thank you, Rupinder. But my today's topic are not so hilarious, so pardon me if I broke your heart. Okay. Any volunteers? Sheila, do you want to try?
I'll go.
Yeah. Okay. Don't play if you can't win. Don't play if you can't win. Sheila.
If you participate in anything, whether it be sports or a public speaking event, it just doesn't seem like it would be worth it to participate if you or play if you weren't in it to win. After all, we love to compete against others, but I also love to compete against myself. I love to challenge myself and push myself to do better. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here doing Toastmasters. I've been teaching for 17 years. I love public speaking. But if you'd asked me that when I was a senior in high school, I would have said, "You're crazy. I would never public speak." And yet here I am in front of a group halfway around the world doing just that, public speaking. I absolutely love to challenge myself and learn new things, but I also enjoy taking the skills that I feel I have and being encouraged to embellish on them, to improve them, so that I indeed can win. And hopefully, being a new member as part of Toastmasters, I will actually get a chance to win at these impromptu speakings that you were talking about at the beginning of the meeting. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Sheila. Very well articulated. And any other volunteer?
Yes, please.
Manish. Okay. So Manish, your topic is if your audience is sleeping, someone has to wake you up. If your audience is sleeping, someone has to wake you up.
Good morning, everybody. If my audience is sleeping, someone has to wake it up. If I have to speak in such a way that my audience should listen to me. The topic should be like that if I'm delivering the speech, if there's a voice modulation and body language gestures are there, definitely the audience will listen to me. And there should be some takeaway that audience should have interest to listen what I'm saying. And I have to choose the topic, and the language should be so easy that everybody who's there, even if the person is fifth pass also, should be able to understand what I said. Then only the audience will wake up. There are some leaders, they have this skill that when they speak, they have that charisma, then people listen to them. And that thing comes with time. And I would love that my audience should listen to me if, when I speak, for that, I have to choose that topic which suits everybody. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster, please.
Thank you, Manish. Yes, it's our duty to keep audience engaged. Yeah, very well articulated. Khushbu, do you want to try?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay, Khushbu. So your topic is, if we all lived in a zoo, what type of animals would we be?
Okay. If we all live in a zoo, what kind of animals we would be? At times I feel world is no less than a zoo. Why do I think like that? Because sometimes I feel I am a monkey who's always scratching her head and always confused and bewildered where to go, how to find solutions, be it my personal life, be it my professional life, be it with my child. And often I meet a lot of people who resemble to me characters from Panchatantra. Panchatantra, which is a popular Indian literature which deals about 5 sets of stories which helps us to deal with day-to-day life challenges, and it is metaphorically based on animals. So I have recently met a fox who has become my friend and backstabbed me. I have recently met a wicked wolf who has put me into a state where I was really thinking about myself, whether I was correct or incorrect. But among all of these, I realized one thing, that apart from being a monkey, I was always a donkey, because I was a fool who didn't realize where is my real potential, where should I go, where should I follow. So that is why, if life is a zoo and we are all animals, we should know where our real traits are. And as a human being, as an individual, we often juggle between different roles, often portraying different kinds of animals. Life is a long learning process, and every animal taught us one trait, one character of ourselves. It's on us how we connect with it and how we evolve and accept and move on. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Khushbu. I must admit that it was a difficult topic. Okay. Haritika, do you want to try? I think she's. Haritika, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. So your topic is one crime that you would want to commit.
One
Crime. One crime that you would want to commit.
Sorry?
One crime.
Okay, one crime that I want to commit. Okay. The one crime that I want to commit is kill my ex-HR, because she made my life horrible. She is making my life horrible by not allowing me some things to do, and by allowing me to live my life my own way. She always tortures me. But what I do is keep my smile, and I make her feel like she's not doing anything. But only I know how torturing she is to me. She is torturing me by saying that I won't let you take your exams, and I'm like, go do whatever you want to do. I am not afraid of you anymore. I was afraid of you, but not now. I have support. I know I can do anything. So the crime I want to commit is kill my HR, and I am not sure that I will, but if I get a chance, I will. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you. Actually, you would have requested not to record your part, but anyway.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay. Surendra, can I give you a topic today? Okay. So topic for you is, what do you want most in life?
What do I want? Friends, having achieved something in life, which is nothing in life, I have always felt that I need to achieve much more. Not in material thing, but more on the intellectual level. I believe I have to grow. I still believe that I am a small speck in this whole world which would like to make something about themselves. If I want to achieve something in life, my own life has to change to be able to accept what comes to me. I have not had that opportunity, I think, because the pressures of living life and being able to do something which brings me to a particular level in life is, I think, the priority. Today,
I think we've lost Sharendra.
Yeah.
Sharendra sir lost the network.
Okay.
Yes.
So any other volunteer?
It's 9:25, so you can
Yes.
take a.
I have one last one if someone wants to take it.
We can ask Payal. She's also an evaluator.
Or maybe Sumit, in case. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take.
Sumit. Oh. So Sumit, topic for you is, what should I know about you that I would never think to ask? What should I know about you that I would never think to ask about?
Kapil, can you please repeat the topic once again? Hello?
Yeah. So your topic is, what should I know about you that I would never think to ask?
I think there are a lot of things in my life which people would probably, I would not like them to ask. But there are a lot of things that I would like them to know about me, and those things are um, I am a meditator who meditate every day in the morning and introspect the things that I have done wrong and things that I have done good at the end of the day. And this is one of the things that I've been hiding from many people in my office for a very long period of time, because once they know about my this trait, they would think that they would probably at the night they would I will keep a diary of things that have not gone wrong right with them and other things. So that's one area which I don't want people to ask me much, but this is helping me a lot in terms of improving myself on every single day. The next day should be better than today, and that's where I have been keeping note of every single thing that is happening with me throughout the day. And I don't want many people to know about it initially, but now this is something a private thing that has come in public. And now most of the people who know me also know about my this habit. And with time I am realizing that this is a good thing that people should know about, because that's everybody should do in his or her life, and that's where we can improve every single day. And over to you, Kapil. That's it.
Thank you, Sumit. Again, it was a difficult topic. Okay, with that, we conclude our table topic session, and I would like to hand over the stage back to our team mod, Upinder.
Thank you, Kapil. Now, I before I proceed ahead, I'm launching a poll to help us choose the best table topic speaker. Please take 30 seconds to vote for the best table topic speaker. 10 seconds remain. Thank you, everyone who voted. I'm ending the poll now. Now, moving on to the most important part of a Toastmasters meeting. Before I call the general evaluator on stage, let me tell you one more thing that I am thankful to him about. In the year 2019, this person decided to participate in the humorous speech contest. And his speech was around chief judge and making fun of the position of chief judge. Imagine doing that in a room full of people in front of, guess who? The chief judge, and still making it to the division level, coming second overall. Second time he came up with his icebreaker, and his premise was icebreaker was so profound and yet so wonderful. He His premise was that he died, he was at the pearly gates or whatever version of heaven you have, and that God is reading out his judgment, and then God walks him through the various phases of his life. I don't know where he gets these ideas from, but I sure want a subscription to that idea factory. With a huge round of applause, let's welcome the twice distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for such high appreciation I have never received from any other Toastmaster in my life till now. Coming on to the role of the general evaluator, the objectives of the role of the general evaluator is to evaluate each and every part of the speeches, the activities we have done till now, and what we have learned and where we need to improve. The session will go in the fashion that first I would invite the speech evaluators of the speakers today. After they will give their evaluation to the speakers, then I would invite the role players. Then I will give my feedback on different sessions of the meeting. Thus, now I invite first evaluator of the first speaker, Surender Bhaumik, DTM, if he's there in the meeting.
Yes, sir. I'm there in the meeting.
Okay. So it's over to you.
Thank you so much, TTM Raj Mehta. Today, I had the opportunity of evaluating the level 3, project 3, Connect with Storytelling by Toastmaster Avjinder. Avjinder was brilliant in telling us on his trip to Mexico. What I loved about his speech was right up front, he was able to set a context to his story. And he came up with something which in storytelling is always the best, and that is a personal story. A personal story where he brought in a lot of humor, but at the same time, he also created an atmosphere where we were all looking forward to the speaker giving us something more so that we could learn about this trip to Mexico. The humor part, where he introduced his leader, taking him for beer at 3 different places just to prove that Mexican beer is better than the American beer, was very well told. But the best part I liked about his speech is bringing in a total twist when he talked about the attack at the World Trade Center and how it had an implication on his entire trip beyond that date. It was very brilliantly introduced and executed. The prop that he brought about at the end of his speech reinforced that particular story that he was telling us. And the beautiful transition that he made from one aspect to the other was very well executed. In a speech like this, and especially when you're giving a story to your audience, I would recommend a couple of things. One, give time to your audience to answer the query that you are putting up to them. Don't jump into an answer immediately. The other is, I felt you would have really been able to express yourself much better if you had done the speech standing, because we did not see any body movements or any movement which would be able to reinforce the whole thing. Overall, you were brilliant and lovely story about Mexico. And I would love to go back to you and hear some more stories from you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Avjinder, for this storytelling. Over to you, DTM Raj Mehta.
Thank you. Now we shall move to the second evaluation, and for that I would like to invite uh, Toastmaster Payal Agarwal to give her evaluation about speaker number 2, Toastmaster Anshu.
Good morning, everybody, once again. So I'm here to evaluate Anshu on a speech titled Move Around. What a wonderful speech, Anshu. And as I said while I gave an introduction to you, that I really like the simplicity and genuineness in your voice. And it was once again that I had a chance to hear your speech and evaluate. Uh, Firstly, the objective of the speech was very well met. as it was a well-researched and informative topic. I particularly liked the way you presented your data, full of facts, and yet kept the audience hooked, which all good speeches aim for. It was not only the data which kept us hooked. I felt the entire speech was presented in such a way that we had many instances to listen to it. Firstly, the data, as I said. Secondly, the way you used your hands. I guess even for someone who felt lost, where again hooked, thinking because the way you were using your hands made us really gave us a reason to listen to your speech. Your eye contact perfect. Um, and it was something that facts are something which were common to all of us. So for someone like me who is really worried about health, there was a moment where I made it in my mind that this is what I'll start practicing from now, once I knew about all the information. Anshu, I would just like you to work upon certain things. One was if you could add some personal examples to your speech, like how moving or not moving around has helped you in times of COVID, and how you're working on it. And secondly, I found your voice quality was a little shaky. And so if you could maybe in the beginning we could not hear you clearly, so you could have your audio visual video check before you start your speech. I think it would be great. To challenge you yourself upon, I would request you to start practicing some humorous speech, so that we could even hear the humor side of you, and it would take your speech to another level. So thank you so much, Anshu, for such a wonderful speech, and we all look forward for your future speeches. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster File. Before I request the Toastmaster of the day for starting the polls for Best Speaker and Best Speech Evaluator, I would like to comment about the evaluations. As far as the evaluation by first evaluation is concerned, I would request the evaluator to refrain from using the word but, because whatever you are saying in appreciation of the speaker, that becomes very limited when you use the word but. And for the second evaluator, I would like to advise that I felt that she was facing lack of words. For that, I would request her to advise her to read as much as possible. So because that will enrich.
That's I can't hear you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Now, I invite the supplementary role players one by one. First, timer, Toastmaster Ruchika.
Good morning once again. Thank you very much, Journal Evaluator. And I will just share my report for today. So starting with the prepared speeches, both these speeches were, one of the speech, the first speech were over time. It was 7 minutes and 30 seconds. The second speech was within time range, which was 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Moving on to the table topics, every table topic was well in time except one from Khushbu, which was 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Otherwise, every table topic completed within 1 minute and 30 seconds. Moving on to the evaluators. So the first evaluation exceeded the time limit. It was 3 minutes and 23 seconds. The second evaluation was within 2 minutes and 46 seconds. Uh, team mod for the day till now, the total time was 8 minutes and 40 seconds for the Toastmaster of the day. That's it in my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Timer. I would have appreciated if the individual timing of all the public speakers were also given.
Yeah, okay. So should I share that as well?
Also, there is a 30-second grace, so all the speakers have qualified as such.
Yeah, with that in mind, yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Moving ahead, now I would request Toastmaster Sumit to give the report as the AHA counter of the meeting.
Hello, everyone. Today, and seems to be less. Only I think I have used the most of A's and ums today. Starting with the speeches, Avjinder, you used one two repeats, and one long pause. That's, I think, keeping in mind it's a prepared speech, still a good number. Anshu, you have used two one repeat, and one other filler, which I could not remember right now. Moving on to evaluation, Shorendra sir, you were perfect in terms of and ums. I could not notice any. And Payal, there were more than 10 one and two so during your evaluation. Ruchita, there were 3 R's in your evaluation. And Rupendra sir, there were one one repeat, and one other filler, which I noticed. This is probably I was listening to you much more enthusiasm, and probably I was much more into your speech and this and the topic of today, theme of today. Raj sir, you used 3 and one long pause. Overall, number of R's and ums were less today as compared to probably what we had last meeting. In table topics, Sheila, you were perfect. Manish, you used one filler word. Khushbu, there were 4 filler words. Ritika, there were 1 filler word. And Shorendra, there was no filler word at all. I could not notice mine. So over to you, Raj sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sumit. Now I request our grammarian, Toastmaster Alisa, to give the report of her role.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Have you ever gone into the kitchen to use a knife and you're trying to cut something and it just won't cut? And then you realize your knife isn't sharp enough. Well, this is what can happen with language. We can get a little bit carried away and not focus on it. And that's why the role of grammarian is here tonight. And I have to say, I have seen some really sharpened technical language use tonight, and it's been outstanding. So I would like to express my appreciation for all of you and your role in using the English language in an excellent way. Concerning the word of the day, it was used a total of 6 times. I used it twice. Rupinder used it 3 times, and Surinder used it once. So that is something that we could work on, is incorporating it more, and perhaps I could post it on my screen in a more visible way so that we all remember to use it. In terms of some of the language recommendations for today, I noticed a common situation where the S was cut off of certain words where we would form the plural or the possessive. So for example, I heard last week update could be last week's update with an S. Also, see as beautiful, let's see, your brain require would be your brain requires with an S. Or contribute would be contribute. So it's important to remember to form those S at the end of the words. Also, there were sometimes moments where there were absent connecting words. For example, the love they had would be the love that they had. Or on 25th floor would be on the 25th floor. Or one last one is sea as beautiful as sky would be sea as beautiful as the sky. So by adding these words in, we're able to create a more complete sentence and it's easier to understand. One last thing, someone said, made it in my mind, could be said, I thought to myself. It's just a different way of expressing it that will be perhaps a little clearer. Now to the fun part, because there was so many excellent phrases used. It was outstanding, just beautiful, beautiful words. I'll just mention a few here. Rupinder mentioned bedrock of support. Awesome. Abjinder mentioned sand was as white as the snow and the sea as beautiful as the sky. So poetic. It was amazing. Anshu said, teach your body to stretch and it will thank you. And she also said, skin molds to our motions. I love that use. I've got over here, Sheila, embellish the goals I have. Munish, they have charisma and people listen. Khushabu, it is metaphorically based on animals. And Surinder, achieve more on the intellectual level. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for this opportunity. We will continue to sharpen our instruments and use the language, the English language in a beautiful way. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lisa. I think I had also used the word of the day, appreciation, when I had said that I have never heard such a high appreciation about me from anyone else still. Okay. Coming on to the evaluation of the table topic speeches. About the, okay, let's first have the four best auxiliary role players. Thank you. Coming on to the evaluation of the table topic speeches, which were done today. First, before I start evaluating the speeches, I would first like to evaluate the table topic master. As soon as he was introduced by the Toastmaster of the day, his first sentence was, my today's topics are not hilarious. I think he should have avoided this sentence. Instead of that, he should have introduced the objectives of the table topic session and the timing rules and how he is going to take it. Then the plus point about the table topic master was that he encouraged members in the audience to come on the stage and take the topics. And yeah. And secondly, his topics were such that people were able to speak easily. It was not something which would require people to think a lot. And these were not difficult. These were having connection with some part of our life. So from that point of view, it was good that the choice of topics and the encouragement by the table topic master is really appreciable. Now coming on to the evaluation of the speeches, table topic speeches. First speaker was Toastmaster Sheila, and her topic was uh, don't play if you cannot win. She talked about her taking up the activities of public speaking and saying that in spite of the fact that she was not ready to take it earlier, but she took it because she took this challenge. Though she has not won anything till now in her Toastmaster journey, but she is, of course, hoping to do much better in it. I would just advise her to, when she is speaking, that she should make some body movements, because I missed her even hand gestures or in facial expressions. No, there was continuous smile on her face when she was speaking. Our second table topic speaker was Toastmaster Manish Gupta, and his topic was, if your audience is sleeping, someone has to wake them up. And what a way he started, the voice, the energy, and the topic he took. I really liked his energy, his movement, and especially the thing that when he was speaking, he was standing. So I just felt that it was a well rehearsed speech of 1 to 2 minutes. I at times I felt that he was thinking and speaking, so that a little bit of more practice would improve his speaking skills. Table topic speaker number 3, Toastmaster Khushbu. Her topic was if we lived in a zoo, what type of animal would we be? And she took the reference of Panchtantra and how she has been enjoying the Panchtantra top stories. I would request Toastmaster Khushbu to kindly ensure that when her mic is on or she is speaking, try to avoid background disturbances because it was there when she was speaking. But in spite of that, she continued speaking and she told us about the learning from the animals. That was good. Tabletop speaker number 4, Haritika. Her topic was a crime that you would like to commit, and she was straight away on the crime. She said that she just wants to kill her HR lady. Uh, in a very brief speech, she told us the reason, the person who is going to be killed by her, and everything. And in spite of that, she was smiling. That is always a plus point with Toastmaster Haritika. Uh, I missed the top speech from Toastmaster Surendra Vomik, but I felt that he was going to talk about the lack of prioritizing the things. Next, we had table topic speaker Toastmaster Sumit, and his topic was, what should I know about you that you would never think to ask? And he said he revealed a secret of his that he meditates. He meditates for his own introspection, for his own himself realization, and what good or bad he does in his life on daily basis. And he also gave us the advice that we should also do it. Overall, it was a good tabletop speech. I felt that the tabletop session overall was very interesting because the speeches were good, the topics were good, and I enjoyed it. Coming on to the different role players, first I would like to comment about the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rupinder Singh DT. The theme, thank you, which we received just last night, I could understand the Toastmaster of the day was not ready with the theme, and he just gave the theme in a sudden way. Because thank you is something which is very common, and it doesn't take much time and efforts and digging into the information. But in spite of the simple topic and in spite of the fact that it was instant topic, he did justice with the topic. He thanked everyone who or which has entered in his life and has made some changes or some impacts, positive or negative, in his life or in the lives of others. He The best part of his role as Toastmaster of the day were that he gave detailed introduction about all the role players and the role of these role players in his life and how his life has been changed by these role players. That is one of the best way of telling that you are the best person in this world. He also appreciated each and every speaker. That is another way of telling the speaker before even the evaluator comes on the stage that yes, you have done a good job. And as usual, he was confident, he was composed, and in spite of in spite of that, okay, let me term it in other words. He was speaking in such a way that as if he was enjoying the coronavirus instead of as if he was suffering from COVID-19. My, I'm not sure whether all of you are aware that he is having COVID-19 nowadays. Not only he, but all his family members are suffering from that. While I wish fastest recovery to all the members of the family, mm, but I really appreciate his courage that in spite of having such a situation in family, he was able to come in the meeting and did his role in such a wonderful way. I would like to clap for him. I would like to comment about myself that I was late in joining the meeting and thus I was not able to hear the opening by the Sergeant at Arms and also the speech by the welcome speech by the president of the club. Overall, it was a good meeting. A few advices. I felt that speakers were over time. They were not able to complete their speeches within time. So speakers should take note of that. There were some disturbances when speeches were going on. We should try to avoid it. We can tell our family members to keep away at least till the time meeting is going on. And though this has already been said by one of the evaluators, that the speakers should try to stand and deliver the speeches. Overall, it was good meeting. I enjoyed it, and I hope that all of you must have also enjoyed it. Over to the Toastmaster of the day, Rupinder Singh Dedi.
Thank you, Raj Mehta, for those kind words and that rather elongated appreciation of me. I would like to end this. It has been a difficult year for every one of us, and yet humankind has seen worst days. I was reading a book, A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson, in which he says that for us to exist on this meeting, there was a 1 in 500,000 billion chances. I'm pretty sure whatever 2020 was, it wasn't as problematic as that one. If the Big Bang had happened even a fraction of a second later, we would not have existed. Yet, here we are. I think it is a testimony to our instinct to survive and thrive amongst all crises. The cornerstone of the surviving and thriving lies in us choosing to be happy, choosing to be thankful, choosing to be cheerful. So, whatever is the crisis that you are facing this year, you may not have filed an income tax return. Your you may be behind on mortgage payments. You may be behind on bills. Somebody in the family is sick and needs care. Just be thankful that you are alive. Because anything that relates to money, you can always get it back. Sure, you'll have to pay a few fines. Sure, you'll have to probably make an appearance in a court a couple of times. But all that can be recovered. Your health, your happiness, that cannot be recovered. So focus on yourself, choose happiness no matter what. Yesterday, somebody gave me a topic which I tried to pass on to others. Always choose happiness whenever possible. It is always possible. With those words, I'm going to hand it back to our cheerful presiding officer, Kapil Kakkad.
Thank you, Rupinder. Think I think meeting was great. I was not expecting some people because I thought it's a Christmas Eve, Christmas week, so many of us would not join. But indeed, it was great to see everybody joining and having great fun in the meeting. Now it's time to take a feedback from our guests. So can I start with Munish? Munish just wanted to have a feedback on our today's meeting. How you felt about today's meeting? Any suggestions?
It's an incredible meeting. There is no suggestion. I really enjoyed the meeting. I would love to attend the meeting again and again. I am a late riser. I would love to get up early, get ready, and attend the meeting and learn something from you. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster, please.
Thank you, Munish. Look forward to see
I,
you again.
and I said I requested also that I would love to speak a prepared speech next week, please, if it's possible.
Okay.
We will definitely consider it, Munish. We'll just go
Thank
through who else has nominated and we'll get back to you.
Okay. Raj?
I don't want that I should be considered as a guest now, though I am not a paid member. But I always enjoy the meetings at this club. Thank you very much.
Okay. Haritika?
Today I was thinking not to join the meeting because I was to leave for my office, but then I thought that just give it a try. I will join. And if I had missed this meeting, I would have missed something very much. This meeting was wonderful. I really liked your table topic session. I really liked the keynote by Rupinder sir. I really loved this meeting. Thank you, and over to you.
Okay, thank you. Khushbu?
Can you give us the contact of your HR? We might push her for a membership.
Okay, just give it a try. If you reach to her, then maybe you can make her a member. If only you are able to reach to her.
Okay.
Move on to the other guest.
Khushbu?
Thank you, sir. If at 8:30 in the hustle bustle of the daily course, I'm coming here, it's only for one reason, because the opportunity to learn here is immense. And today I've learned a lot from Sohendra sir about the art of evaluation. And I want to express my deepest gratitude to Blue Quest Club for always giving me an opportunity to learn. And special thanks to Toastmaster Rupinder. Sir, I can go on with a long list of gratitude to you. Thank you for coming into the picture on the second week in Toastmaster in my life, when I was like literally feeling I'm nowhere. And you have actually given me the string, the thread to move from one place to another and how to evolve myself both as a speaker. But your role, probably you have always given me as a Toastmaster, but I want to tell you one thing, that you have actually helped me to evolve a lot as a human being. And you have taught me that always be stick to the first reason, why are you here? And always believe in giving. And I'm taking extra time, sorry for that, but I want to say one thing to you, sir. If I am able to become even 10% of you, what you were in Toastmaster, I feel I will achieve great heights as a trainer, as a teacher when I'm dealing with children. So thank you for everything. Over to
10% of
you.
me is 12.6 kilograms. So, okay, that was a horrible joke.
Okay. Thank you, Khushbu. I also echo the same. Um, uh, Elisa?
So I was thinking about the fact that yes, we come to Toastmasters to learn. Yes, we come to develop. That is such an integral part of what we're here for. But another thing is to enjoy this time together to get to know one another. And I love today hearing Avjinder's story about his travels to Mexico and his journey, and hearing Anshu's experience and in terms of her research and everything that she shared with us. And I think it's just fantastic that we have this special opportunity. So very glad to be here. Thank you again.
Thank you. Sheila?
I'd like to echo what Elisa said. It's very true. I love getting together with everybody. I thank everyone for the constructive criticism, and Avi's speech mentioning 9/11 brought back remembrances. You know, I was here in New York State then. Just reminds me to be thankful for definitely all the people in my life and all the things that I have that many people don't have. So just a reminder for that Thanksgiving piece. I'm glad I was here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So could we take next week's role, please?
We have certificates.
Oh, yeah. So do you want to announce the results?
Okay, yes, I will start by announcing the results. So we've started a new tradition wherein we give awards to the top three table topic speakers. So let's see who won it this time. The person who would love her HR Spock to join our club, Haritika Ahuja. Many congratulations. We look forward to having her. Of course, many people will interpret that as I look forward to having her. That is not the case. I speak for the club. The this time this best table. By the way, there were three people tied in for the top two positions. I will name the third one, but for now, the best table topic speaker number two is the New Yorker, Sheila McIntyre. And I totally echo your feelings about 9/11. Believe me, we in India, when we heard about it on 9/12, every one of us wanted to be a New Yorker that day. So, while we appreciate your feelings, I totally get what you're talking about. And a best table topics speaker today, she got a difficult topic and she spent the last 5 minutes trying to profess how I changed her life. That is not the reason that she got this award. She got this award because she gave a wonderful table topic. Many congratulations, Khushbu Chopra. Let's move on to the best evaluator. We had the enthusiasm of Payal Agarwal versus the experience of Shaurendra Bhaumik today. And I must say that Shaurendra also tried to infuse enthusiasm while Payal brought all of her experience into play. But ultimately, experience triumphed over enthusiasm. Many congratulations. Twice distinguished Toastmaster Shaurendra Bhaumik. Payal, nothing to take away from you. Wonderful evaluation. You continue to improve by leaps and bounds. Now let's come to the best auxiliary role player. Again, like I always say that in mystery novels, it is the butler who always did commit the murder. Today again, we have the butler taking away the award. The butler of any Toastmasters meeting, always getting the best auxiliary role player award, our grammarian Elisa Schneider. Although that kind of a performance would have won you that award in almost any club. Now, when it comes to the best role player, again, no biases. I know that it sounds tremendously self-serving, but the vote is not wrong when I say the best auxiliary role player. I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my dog, my cat, my carrot, my parrot. Okay, now let's move. Now, to the best speaker of the day, the one who wants you to move around. Anshujit, many congratulations. And oops, that is not something you're supposed to say. Anyway, thank you very much. And with that, I will hand it back to our presiding officer for taking the rules for next week. So the next meeting will be on the 30th of December. Kapil, we have a nomination from Joyita already for a speaking slot. So take it from there.
Yeah. Okay. So Joyita is one of the speaker. So I'll start with the team mode. Any takers for team mode role?
Kapil, I can be the team mode for the next meeting.
Sure, Pat. Okay. GE, General Evaluator. Anybody? Or
Suggest
probably
Avjinder should be the what? Avjinder, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Speakers, one is Joyita. Anybody else?
I would like to be the speaker. And we have Munish, who is also requested.
It can be either table topic master or speaker.
Let's give Manish a chance to be a speaker, and we can have Raj Mehta as the table topic master.
Can I also have a speaker because I want to close my...
You are already a speaker, sir. We've got
Okay.
Joyita, Shaurendra, and
Munish.
Manish as speakers.
Yeah. Now we need tag team.
Okay. Khushbu, one of the tag roles.
Yes, sir, I can take any that is available.
Okay.
Give me anything.
Sheila, why don't you take grammarian? We would love a New Yorker's take on our grammar.
All right, I will try my hand at it.
Okay. Alisa, can I expect you to help Sheila out with that role?
Absolutely.
Okay. And Alisa, why don't you take a speech evaluator?
Sure. Sounds good.
I will also take speech evaluator.
Okay.
Okay, we've got Khushbu as timers. What else remains? We need an R counter, I think. And we need one more speech evaluator.
Correct.
Okay. Anshu, R counter.
Okay.
Anshu takes R counter. Can you and Sumit play roles again? I was thinking of giving Sumit a speech evaluation role.
Okay.
So you can attend meetings now.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, cool. I think our roster is complete, Kapil.
Khushbu is the timer, right?
Khushbu is the timer.
Okay.
Anything that remains?
No, they're done.
All right, great. Thank you, everyone. I will stop the recording.